Is it on? Yes. Okay, let's call this meeting to an order. It is actually, what's my time? 6:06. 6:06. Roll call.
Commission Chair Francisco Vasquez.
Present.
Commission Vice Chair Jesus Cervantes.
Present.
Commission Secretary and Historian Joanna Esro. Commission Member Sonia Urquiza.
Present.
And Commission Member Sergio Molina. Just want to mention, due to protocol, wasn't able to add Laisha Garcia, who was approved yesterday, regular meeting for council 7:20, but she's scheduled to be here for next meeting.
Thank you. So I believe we have a quorum, right?
Yes, we have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Okay, please join me on the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Anyone who wishes to address the public, call to the public, the Parks and Recs Commission. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Alexis Leggett. I just wanted to officially thank you, the commission members that spoke last night on my behalf. I wanted to let you know whatever decision the council makes, either way, you'll be seeing me. Like I said, my family is going to enjoy the events here and the Parks and Recreation events and everything. So I'll be here anyways. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will definitely recruit you if you're not a commissioner, but we are in hopes you will be. So thank you.
Thank you.
And there is always needs for volunteers, believe me that,
Yeah.
And activities and always opportunities there. I guess that's one of the reasons why I joined the commission, is to be active with the community. And my fellow commissioners have been great players along with me and great support. So if you join the team, you can sense what I'm saying. So thank you anyways. Okay. Consent agenda. Do we need to approve the consent agenda at this moment, or as it is presented? I guess it is one of the.
Yeah.
Unless we have to make changes, but so if we don't make any changes, then we need to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as it is. Is that correct?
Yeah. I make a motion to approve item 5.1 as presented under our consent agenda items, which will be the approval of minutes for June 22nd, 2021, regular meeting.
Thank you. There is a motion to approve item 5.1 on the consent agenda, approval of minutes for June 22nd. Ms. Esro or Ms. Moreno, I would like to second the motion for approval of the consent agenda for the item 5.1, please. Okay, you second. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's great. Kind of too serious today. Must be cloudy today. Anyways, so okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor for approval of minutes of June 22nd, 2021, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Minutes are approved for our last meeting. And let's welcome our new recreation coordinator, presentation of our new recreation coordinator, Josue Rodriguez, by Jesus Mesa. Jesus?
Good evening, Commission Chair, Commission members. This is Mesa Parks and Rec Director. Just want to officially welcome and present to the Commission our new recreation coordinator, Josue Rodriguez. He's originally from Somerton. He's very involved with the community. He's been active with different types of tournaments, fundraisers, actually, that are beneficial for the community. Now he's going to do it on a full-time basis with the city. He's demonstrated in his about a week of employment that he's capable. He's already making positive changes when it comes to programming and all the different forms we use for the activities. With that, like Josue, he has a few things he wants to mention to the commission.
Thank you, Jesus. Like mentioned, my name is Josue Rodriguez. I am the new Parks coordinator. And just to mention a few things that have been happening this week, we're right on track with fall activities. We have basketball starting August 2nd, Youth Basketball League. We have adult softball beginning this Friday. We're also right on track with softball, flag football, soccer. Those are some things that are upcoming in the month of September and October. We're already planned. We're right on schedule with registrations. We have several parents that have registered already. And, our whole main goal is to be right on track and put Somerton back on the map again, as far as activities and leagues for our youth. Question?
I have a question about, COVID-19 protocols. What are you putting in place, or what's being put in place right now for that, since children are not vaccinated yet?
Correct. We do have sanitary stations on hand in each facility. We also are going to ask that face masks be required, during the activities, especially for adult and children. During not playing time, when they're on bench or out of playtime. During playtime, obviously face masks are not required, but once they're sitting or in a gathered group, we're asking that they wear face masks at all times.
What about the close contact sports? When they're playing, they're not going to wear a mask either?
It's optional. That's the way we've been doing it lately, because it is close contact. There is close contact.
So who do we talk to if we have a concern about that?
That I do.
Be with us.
Right now?
We could have a separate item, I believe, to discuss that.
Yeah, because that's a huge concern with the way that COVID is spreading right now.
Yeah.
And if you look at nationwide news about it, children are spreading big time. So it's something that we need to take in consideration if we want to keep our families safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Sure.
The news was last night when one of the summer recurrent events, I guess, the samples that were taken from the city actually shows numbers that are down, but because they were saying that because of the city of Somerton is one of the few cities that has the most of the highest percentage having the population vaccinated. So the risk is low, but it is still there. Because the samples that they took actually out of the sewers, it shows that they're not as high as they were actually back on January, February. But they're still
They're still there.
Okay, low, but they're still there. And with the new rise of the Delta, you're right. We need to be careful.
I have one question. Do you have any contact tracing like system in place where if somebody becomes infected, and how do you let other people know?
We do actually, and what we request is that if there are any symptoms, that person or player not be present, or any family member. We actually had a tournament last week where a whole team had to drop because 2 of their members had tested positive prior to the tournament. So that entire team got excluded, along with family members and close friends that were in contact with them.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I'm not to be that guy, but I always am that guy. But we're still doing the COVID waiver forms, correct, for our sports?
Yes.
Okay.
Any new ideas that you would like to bring to our city?
Well, the only idea that we've been talking about back and forth is the baseball league, combining it into one league alone, not recreational or travel. And the whole purpose of that is to make our league grow. That's something that we think it's the right way, is to have one single league to where travel teams and our local youth can play on the same levels, same teams if possible. And the whole purpose is just to have a full league. Past years, we've always noticed that we're short, and to the point where we have to cancel certain leagues or certain age groups because we can't fulfill those. That's the only thing that we're proposing, once again, is that we have a single league.
If I may, Commission Chair, that's an item that's going to be in the agenda.
Yes.
You put one in for discussion.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the more we can offer, to our residents, the better for all of us.
Yes.
The need is there anyway. So, have you visited or are you showing their donation that we received actually last year in January? So, is he familiar with the equipment that is there?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Okay.
Did a full inventory. So
there you
trying
go.
to get better organized.
Okay, so if you have the tools, you have the parks, let's roll it.
We just need the people now.
Okay, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best luck.
Thank you.
Remember, you need to stay with us at least 5 years, okay? There you go, until you retire. Let's move on to old business. Item number 7.1, discussion and possible action to approve purchase of new technological devices for regular meetings and special events. Vice Chair Jesus Cervantes.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the Commission. Yes, so I have been tasked with finding additional methods to really help us in our way of getting information out there clearly and towards our targeted audiences. I am still in the process of identifying several items. I may send out a feeler to all the Commission members to see what technologies they'd be interested in, because I do have a wide array of technologies that can be used by us. It just depends how involved and active we are going to be moving forward. Because I guess the key thing to the technologies I am researching and identifying will be portability. So it could be used anywhere, whether we are doing a quick, let's say a remote at the 4th of July Festival, just as a quick greetings, kind of like what City does with Facebook Live. But I envision I guess you could say a dedicated remote, so we don't get the lagginess. But it's items like that. So it is still in the process of being identified. And of course, this would be available to Parks and Rec department staff as well. So if there is a need to really have some sort of technology that the city may not be able to use or may be outdated, then ultimately, yeah, we can provide that. I still do have to approach that question of my firm possibly donating some of this equipment to the commission and the city to see how it would work, to see if there is a conflict or anything like that, since I am the owner. But I will say this, there are no strings attached. This is strictly just for the bettering of the organization and its ability to serve the community. But I should have something built out to present by our next meeting and get feedback to see if it is something that would benefit the commission, whether it is once more doing those remotes out at special events or just doing I think we've discussed it in the past, having our little tent at city events to really promote our recreation programs along with Parks and Rec and or the commission as well. But that's all I have at this point. As I mentioned, I'm still in the identification phase of this. Once those items have been narrowed down, then we can talk about the build out and the acquisition phase of this. Because at the end of the day, there is no rush. There is no hard deadline. So I don't want to rush this, and we end up with something that is either overly designed, overly sized, or the opposite of the spectrum, where it's undersized and it becomes more a burden or cumbersome to use while out in the field. I believe in ease of use as well. So it'll be something that can be deployed by anybody. You do not need a degree in engineering to set it up. It'll just be a quick turn on and you're good to go in about a few minutes. At this point, are there any questions regarding it? I know it's not a whole lot, but like I said, it's still in the research phase.
No, I don't have any questions. I'm actually, I'm glad that you've given us the opportunity to review for next one. And now with a little bit more tangible items in our hands, so we can say, oh, I like this, or, no. Keep researching and
because ultimately I can build something out that you can deploy out in the middle of the desert and still have pristine connectivity and backup power and basically have no need for infrastructure. Or I could be building something simple that will give us like maybe an hour of runtime, because that's all we need it for, especially if it's just for a quick upload to Facebook or any social media in general. So we got to find that balance, I guess I should say. And like I said, it'll be for the commission, owned by the commission, no strings attached, and can be used by any entity that would want to use it. So
I was even picturing, as long as we have a tripod and a good mic and something like that, something easily. So no, I think it's, we're in the right direction. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. And like I mentioned, I'll have an update for next meeting with some options that are available to see how and what the commission is interested in having. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I know there is someone very, very excited to address the commission, and she told me that she was going to deliver good news. So let's hear those good news.
I can't understand you. I told you what.
Okay.
Yeah.
I learned that I'm very emotional. You notice that my face was kind of a reddish, so we couldn't have the time to hear what you were going to say. So I'm glad that it's right here.
You're going to hear it for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time. So item 7.2, follow up with discussion on the upcoming Art and Wine Festival event by Joanna Esru.
Well, good evening, fellow commissioners. I'm really excited to share with you the progress we've made so far with the Wine and Art Festival. So as most of you know, we did get the approval not this last meeting, but the meeting before that from City Council. So they gave us the green light, which means we can now pick a date. We can now start brainstorming, discussing ideas. And I do have some updates for you already, which I'm really excited about. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the most exciting ones, and a couple of you were there when it happened, but we have some very good sponsors already. And one of those sponsors that is going to sponsor us, and I already made contact with his coordinator and himself, and we talked about different ideas, and I'll share that with you just in a moment here, is the owner of 24/7 Fitness Gym that owns the gyms all in Yuma County, including the Somerton ones. And they're going to build a nice, beautiful one, probably, we're hoping, here in Somerton. So they want to sponsor us, like, whatever you need, we'll do it. They even told City Council they would pick up their bill, right? And so we're really excited about that sponsor. And then we got another sponsor, Nomar. Nomar, is it real estate? Is it real estate or enterprises?
Enterprise. Nomar Enterprise, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Nomar Enterprise approached us that same night of the meeting and said he wants to sponsor, but he wants to be like low key, like he doesn't want anyone to know he sponsored us, but I'm letting you guys know he wants to sponsor us. So we did speak to him, and so we'll be. I did send an email to him, but I haven't received a response back. So I will follow up and make sure I meet with him and very soon here. But he definitely, I mean, sincerely wants to sponsor us, you know, with monetary, right? I'm really excited because the community is excited to sponsor us. The community is excited also to us to have this event, right? To actually have this event that's going to be, I see it as classy, and I see it as like so enjoying the art, the culture, because we have local artists here that are musicians, that are painters, that we can bring. One of the ideas is a silent auction. We can have artists donate their art, and we can set it up on a table, and they can have a silent auction. There's easy money right there for us. And then another idea is, I don't know if this is me, might just be me. So we're going to bring some ideas today. I'd love to have some bachata lessons, dance lessons, where we have a teacher instruct, kind of like an after party theme with the dance floor and lights, and just to engage our guests, right? Mm-hmm. Also, I'd like to have waiters that volunteer to bring the wine, the beer, and the hors d'oeuvres to the table setup. I'm thinking of an outdoors garden like. Mm-hmm. There's 2 different venues here in Somerton that I know of. I don't know what you guys think, and you guys can share, brainstorm, but these are 2 ideas I'm going to throw out there that I've just thought about would be really nice for outdoors. One of them that the city mayor mentioned was one of our Centennial Park, right?
Yes,
Centennial Park, because it's garden-like. It's where we had a really nice appreciation dinner there recently, and it was beautiful. We could put lights, like those white lights, set it up like that, and we can put tables. The only concern is we have to figure out parking. And I know there's a lot out there that's right now it's filled with things. And we did talk to city manager about it, let him know heads up, can you clean it out because we're thinking of having an event, and that was a maybe. So that's an idea. Another idea I thought about was Lozanos. I don't know what it's called, but they have a garden reception area right off of Main Street. I don't know what the name is, but I just see it as Lozanos. But I think that would be beautiful too, because it's enclosed and it's also all garden like, and they have parking. Those are 2 ideas for location. I want you guys to think about it. I want you guys to share, talk about what you think. Let's see, what else did I want to share about the venue? So Oh, we also have, and speaking with the owner of Scott is his name, the owner of the fitness, the gym, he mentioned that we can get sponsors, doctors as well, because he has connections with doctors because his brother's a cardiologist. So he says we can get doctors involved to sponsor as well. And he's really excited. He was brainstorming with me for like probably a 20-minute conversation over the phone. And he's really excited to like just, make this like an amazing event. And I see it big. I see it really big. So what I want is engagement from everyone. I want everyone to think about how do you see it? For example, our folkloric group from Somerton, they can do their folkloric dancing around the tables. Mm-hmm. And that could be like very engaging for the guests because they can do their folkloric dancing around the table. And we can have segments of our musicians doing their music, right? And their performances, segments throughout the night. And then at the very end of the night, bachata dancing or something like that. But it's just, those are the ideas, some of the ideas that I've been, throwing around. What do you think, fellow commissioners?
It sounds great. It sounds like a lot of fun and like an opportunity to meet people and, and learn about the artists and the art scene here, the local art scene. I just would like to visualize better what the central idea of the event is. Is it like wine tasting?
Yeah, it's wine tasting and art festival. So you'll be tasting different wines with different hors d'oeuvres, but we're going to include beer because everybody likes wine, right? Mm. And so we'll have different beers, but we'll have I think we need waiters so it could be elegant.
Yes.
Okay. And appreciating the art. Yeah. And mingling, like you said, mingling with everyone.
I just want to volunteer that I've taught art classes before, so I would love to participate as having a group that is drinking their wine and drawing. I could be teaching a nice, simple, relaxing lesson.
Oh, that would be really nice. We could have that set up for you, and whoever wants to participate can go and do that. I love it.
It's just that the way that when we were talking about it, the way that I see it is it's not just 1 hour event.
No.
It has to be a little bit longer. I don't know how long, very long, because since we're actually celebrating art, arts and wine, the wine tasting will be at the end. Okay. So we can give actually a chance for presenters to actually present their talents, if it's a ballet folklorico. I don't know, we still have remember the ladies who came and did a little presentation? I don't know if they're still actually meeting and rehearsing, in their ballet folklorico.
It's not active right now.
It's not active, but you have the contacts from them, I believe. So. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I mean, any form of expression of art, I can see Alexis that she's present here, try to involve her. I love the pictures that you present last night. Okay.
The young lady that you guys donated to.
Her. Yes.
Yes, we were talking about also giving the chance to have a little platform.
Yes.
Okay. Set for those presenters.
Yes.
Okay, and also to have live music. I saw actually a group and I approached them. It's just a small band that they play at the wetlands area on the west side of the park. Okay, every Saturday they are there and they ask permission to the city just for them to practice, but they sound wonderful. So we can have actually live musicians also as part of our event for the wine tasting. And the reason why we're including beer is because the person who actually brought the beer for the 4th of July celebration, he said that in order to be successful in this kind of events, unfortunately, we have to have some form of a beer there. Okay, I don't know, because it's affordable, whatever. And the wine it has to be the complement of it. So they're also willing to help us, giving us more insight on how to run an event like this. and maybe they can be also part of the sponsors. Okay, I mean, they contact me actually, but I didn't want to follow through until the council actually gave us a green light to continue now exploring more and more.
So I have an idea of how we can present the wine tasting. You know those flights that you get in restaurants? You order a flight and it has different beers or different wines or different margaritas. We can have our waiters bring in flights. Everyone purchase like a bracelet. This is like their entry ticket, and you get a flight. And if they want extra, well, then they can have a bar set up for extra. But we can have a flight of beer and a flight of wine. Simple, real simple.
I just heard Chair Vasquez that you mentioned that the wine should be served at the end, but that doesn't sound.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. Thank you. We need more. That's what we need our females to hear.
Wine
goes together. Yeah.
I mean, I can see that you don't want people to over, right? Like just wine. There should be a way to like
the flight
balance with the flight.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have. I mean, that was just an idea, No, at this point, believe me that I don't mind if sometimes I'm actually eating my food, and yes, I do have my own little case of wine. She knows that. You know that during lunchtime. But it's just that somebody suggested me if you have it like with live music, it's gonna be like the sherry on the top of the cake.
Well, we're going to do that throughout. So we can have an agenda with all the different musicians scheduled for 20 minutes each or 15 minutes, whatever we decide.
Yeah.
I mean, how enjoyable is that? All different types of genres.
And also, how sometimes you can have music at your table.
Yes.
I don't know if that could be incorporated, but that is sometimes nice.
Is that one with the guitarra?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you pay them. Yeah. Where especially after a couple of glasses, people are. I mean, I don't know if that would be something that could be done, but
it can. Oh, it can. It can. Because we're going to create it.
Okay.
We're going to create the venue, yeah. And then after we create it, I believe we present it to City Council, right, for approval? Is that how it works? What do you think, Jesus? I haven't heard from you.
Once again, to be that guy, I mean, everything sounds good. I don't disagree with any of the ideas. We do have to discuss the licensing and insurances and paperwork that needs to be filed.
Yes, soon.
And I think it'll be everything from our alcohol license to having security personnel, since alcohol will be on site.
Yep.
I think fire has to do an inspection as well of our venue. So there's a bunch of items that do come into play.
Okay.
So I think we need to have that in the back of our mind as well.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't disagree with any of the items. They are all outstanding.
Thumbs up.
It's just the
logistics.
The logistics and crossing of the T's and dotting of the I's to make sure that everything is well, I guess there.
Well, here's what will help. I think if we plan this way ahead, maybe I'm just throwing out a month, but you guys tell me. I was thinking more like February. Something to give us time, not like right away.
And that was going to lead into my next item. It's like, what dates are we looking at? Because I know we had thrown around
November.
Yeah, and I think that is too soon to really plan anything out, because it will require major lifting from our side in order to get a lot of those little items out of the way.
Oh yeah.
And I guess my next question is for the event itself. Is it going to be a open event, or do you have to purchase a ticket or some sort of pass?
Open event, but we're going to advertise it with, especially our sponsors. They can advertise it as well. And so, we want to have plenty of time for advertisement here in the city with the city of Somerton.
And the reason I bring that up is that I think it should stick to its original idea and design, that it's a wine and arts festival for everyone, not just for, excuse my language, but our snobby art critics. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not that there's a whole lot in our area.
That's why I like her idea of doing even a lesson.
Because its original idea was to bring and highlight art in our community.
Yes.
So as long as we don't lose track of that and try to make it into a Los Angeles type of arts event or Phoenix event, you know, it is Somerton.
Yeah.
That was my only other question is like, is it going to be an open event? And if they do want like the flights, then they could purchase additional bracelet or whatnot.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And they could purchase it right there.
What I was thinking is, yes, to be actually an open event, but to close the event, actually some sort of a dinner that we can get through the sponsors. Okay, and we don't have to worry about, you know, the licenses or, you know, with serving the food. Somebody else can do that. And for the wine to be actually served, catering.
Yeah.
Okay. Is I mean, art. Okay, but it will have to be some sort of you know, I agree with you know, we need to discuss the date. Also, another thing that I have on my with question marks here, the cost. Was it going to be open or closed? But I think I have actually been in 2 wine tastings events here in Somerton. One that actually happened like 10 years ago, and then one that happened like 20 something years ago.
Wow.
Okay. And basically the last one actually was a little bit more successful than the prior one. Even though the prior one actually, they even the glass that was actually used was engraved with the city logo and then the date. So which I still have one of those glasses. I didn't sell it, I buy it. I got it because I pay my ticket. But it was just a close event.
It was closed?
Yeah, for the wine tasting. And so it was
closed to who?
No, I mean, what I'm saying is
enclosed. Okay, I said closed event.
Not closed event. So open it. So to clarify here, open event for everyone, you know, for the presenters, for ballet, for whoever wants to display art, for maybe middle schoolers who like to, you know, present their drawings or whatever. Maybe AWC, you know, there will be some minors, obviously. But then the main dinner to open for those who are 21 or plus. That's, you know what I'm saying, in order to serve the wine and the beer. And I think, I mean, if we do it at the Centennial Park, it can be done if, you know, if the city actually help us with the tent. And then at the main events, obviously, presenter, but then how do we, this is my question, is how do we serve wine and beer when the...
So that's what we can do. We can schedule it where we have like a pre-event for the families. So there can be children under 18 years old, present, engaged. You have your lesson during that time. We have other activities during that time that are family oriented. And that could be early, the first thing that happens in our agenda. And then we move it to the adults only, you know, and we'll advertise it like that. We'll advertise like, I mean, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, just to have a schedule of events. That's...
I'm thinking about the 4th of July festival. I think it was really nice. And, you know, the way the park is fenced in, I think that could possibly work.
Probably like a venue, we can do it there.
I think so. Maybe just one more place to consider. I think.
Okay.
Like you said, the council park. Why not? Then if it's open, why not invite local businesses for them to actually... Yeah.
If I may add, in any new event, it's always better to keep it at a smaller venue. That particular venue is it's tailored for big events. You don't want to give the impression
Oh, I see.
that it's empty. So if it's highly populated or highly attended, maybe next year you can always shift it to another side. Because I'm thinking it has a lot of potential. And I believe I'm on the same page with Joanna. I believe February is a good date. Give us enough time to organize it well, sponsors, work together, getting the artists, everything, the program. And I don't know, maybe it's Valentine's Day.
That's what I was thinking.
That you could tag along to maybe a tango performance in between. And I like her idea. That's something that we have on our mind for programming in the fall or early spring of next year, having Ritmo Latinos or Salsa Bachata dance night at the community center when it's ready with the HVAC program. Doing it like once a month and open, just whatever we collect is going to be for the senior center. We're going to start with lessons for the seniors pretty soon. And I believe maybe a bachata class, 30-minute class with your partner.
Yes. And I already have someone that can teach it. I have a couple people that can teach it.
That's going to be a good addition because it's going to be a good opportunity for any people that want to attend, couples.
Yes.
But I would leave it just open from start to finish. It's a family event.
Yeah.
That's where there's going to be security. If somebody gets out of hand or too drunk or whatever, there's always going to be
we have security there.
Yeah.
We're going to do the same protocol we take when we're at the big events, right? Where we have security guards and checking the licenses and doing the bracelets, everything the same.
Yeah.
And I would keep it just a small stage and maybe a nice show or band to close the show. But have a variety of things, of activities, dance, music, and some of this it revolves around art. Having some live painting would be nice. And simultaneously, we could do several activities. Like, for example, Misukisa could be doing her lesson over there by the tree at Centennial under the tree, having those little, I don't know, what do we call those for the art?
Tripods.
Easels.
Easels. So there could be several activities going on at the same time.
Yes, I love it.
But
painting also. Why not?
The program with the bigger presentations, we have the little stage. It could be a.
You have a stage already?
You have a stage that is not too big.
Perfect.
For something like that, I think it's good.
Yes, I love it.
Set up some lights. That could be an additional expense. Just an audio system, smaller. I'm thinking for this type of activity, it shouldn't be more than like $1,500 or $2,000 for a nice audio system that will do the trick. Yeah.
How does it work with attendance? Do we project? Do we have any idea how many people attend?
I don't know. No? That's a good question.
I would just a ballpark. I would say hopefully around 500-700 people for something like this. But it has a lot of potential to be a lot more and to grow. I mean, but it's a new event. New events are, but if we give it enough time, there's going to be enough time to promote it.
Yes.
And
that's what I'm
thinking people will attend.
So the trick is finding the right venue, like where, the location.
Yeah, I think Centennial would be nice because I know council wants to promote these type of events along with the department, but they want to use a city facility.
Okay.
I would recommend Centennial.
Parking then. Parking, we're going to have
Centennial or here, but the parking's going to be even more limited here.
Oh, here's nice.
Sanguinetti,
actually, here's nicer for setting up tables, no?
I've always had the idea of
off Main Street.
Even put some bands on the second
floor.
I love that idea.
I've always told the managers, hey, let's do something in a little event. Put the bands upstairs.
That would look awesome. People driving by, be like, what's going on?
Plus, you have the acoustics. Because you have the walls here.
I love that. I love it.
So you don't need much. You feel this area.
Okay. What do you guys think? I'm loving that.
This is a park. It's
it's a park.
And
we could do those round tables, and we could do the tall round tables where you stand and the ones that you sit. So people can mingle however they want.
And there's some parking here, and they can park.
There's plenty of parking around here.
There's not a whole lot of parking anywhere. So
there's more here than over there.
Yeah.
I really think the idea of music on the second floor.
I know, I love
adds something special.
Yes.
Yeah.
ambience of the.
Exactly.
I love it. I could see it.
No, it's doable. It's doable.
Any other ideas?
I think it has a lot of potential.
I think we have a lot of in our,
Same page.
yes, we have, the location, the entertainment, the date. We need to take actually baby steps, to move with this forward. But yes, I love what I'm hearing from everyone. And I see that Alexis' eyes are just moving like this. What do you think? Come on.
Yeah, I was interested to see because you said that there was recently an event. Are there pictures of what that?
There is on Facebook on the city of Somerton.
Yeah.
There's pictures for the it was a commissioner's dinner, appreciation dinner.
Mhm.
So you can see it's beautiful. It's a beautiful park. It but the parking is the issue.
Mhm.
There's no parking. They would have to clear out like that one piece of land over there, but even then it's small, right?
Yeah.
It's small.
And I don't know if that area belongs to the city.
But you know what?
Oh, okay.
Thinking when we did the Christmas light, actually, 2 years ago, remember the water tower there?
Yeah.
I counted around between 500 to 1,000 people at that area,
Yeah.
at that park. I think that park, the Centennial Park, will give that touch that we want to have. You can look at the tower, the colors, just kind of something majestic, just the colors there is art right there. And then and then even the water, the place for the kids where they can get, I don't know, but I see if the water, because if it's in February, obviously it will be off, and that's extra space that we can utilize for little, other activities like painting or
And I mean,
drawing. Or
the
whatever.
first step,
Mhm.
I always tell every coordinator,
Excuse me.
the scheduling is the first part. And after that, you could fill in the
I'm glad
gaps
that happened.
and go
That's-
from there. But I would recommend the week before,
Before Valentine's.
Valentine's,
Yes.
Mhm,
the
mhm.
week before.
I
Not
agree.
do it the weekend of.
No, because people have
No.
private
Yeah.
Yeah,
plans. Yeah.
a week before,
Well, some
sometime there,
people.
Mhm.
like a Friday or a Thursday, something like that, before Valentine's.
I like the idea, and I was thinking Valentine's was good for this reason. I'm thinking that to call it art, wine and art, it's not really it's not like, you wouldn't think of that as a family event, right? That doesn't, it's
No,
not.
it can't be. Like I've gone to several of them that are family.
Oh, yeah, there
Oh
is.
yeah. Like
Oh, yeah,
in
there's
San
a
Diego, I've gone to
yeah.
several family.
There's lots of it.
Like thinking like a local person, but I might be wrong, but I'm just thinking, everything, but like give it a different title, like.
We can add
So
something.
friendship, something related to maybe not Valentine's Day, but related to friendship and that kind of thing. And then just as a subtitle, something art and
Yeah,
wine.
we can do that. We can put in the title.
Because I don't know if some people would not come thinking.
Thinking it's just for adults.
Wine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good point.
No,
I
but,
think we can do that. That's a good
then,
point.
then we deviate from the main idea is arts and wine. Okay, and that was the whole idea.
It'll
if we just
stay.
call it art celebration, then
No.
Yuma, that's art celebration.
No, she's
Then-
saying keep it in there, but just add something so that it's family friendly for people that think that's just like for adults only. Because like I've gone to them where it's like during the day, like a block party kind of
Mhm,
thing,
mhm.
and it's all family, like kids and everybody. Yeah.
Call it just probably just like an art festival, just Somerton Art Festival.
Okay.
So it's more generic.
Okay.
Just want to mention, I don't know, we checked our calendars, but
Mm.
Valentine's this year, it's on a Monday. Maybe tentatively like February 4th,
Okay.
Mhm.
throw that
That's
date
what I
out
was
there.
looking for.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it the weekend because it's on a weekend, Friday.
The
Friday
12th.
You don't think
before Valentine's
Saturday would be good?
I would shoot for a Friday for this one.
Really?
I think a Friday would work.
Why do what are the pros and cons for Friday versus Saturday?
Because a lot of people on Saturdays they go out of town.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a Friday, there's not a whole lot to do. I mean,
Okay.
But then why not keep the people in town? Make it on a Saturday event since it's going to be.
Because it's a new event, and we're basically we're going to put it on the market for the first time. If it was an established event like the Tamal Festival and all that, I would say Saturday. A Friday, I think would work best. Even a Thursday. Friday.
I wouldn't go for a Thursday.
No.
And Friday's still hard because we all work.
Yes. Yeah, we'll go for Saturday. This is our
Yeah.
At least on my own, if I'm going somewhere, it will be Saturday.
Yeah.
Why? Because I can use the excuse Sunday. I can curar la cruda. I can actually put my angle to the side.
Yeah. It's just a recommendation. I've seen events, and it's always a good approach when you start them. Especially here, being close to the border, people either go to Mex or they go to Yuma or somewhere else on Saturdays, or parties, family parties, the classic piñatas and quinceañeras and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just from life experience, I think Saturday is better. You're more
rested,
ready to
party
on Saturday and Friday.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to have alcohol.
I mean,
yes.
If it's new, but you want to give it the most chances, the best chances, I see it as Saturday. I think that could be worked out. These are different opinions. So.
I like the date actually published. Look at nothing but Tuesday. It will be the second month, 1 and 2 of the year 22. So 2, 12, 22. Also, I like that. I like that. I mean, it's this combination of numbers too.
Has a good.
And the thing is, when she was asking, when Joanna was asking, like, how many people, or I think it was Moreno said, how many people are we expecting this event? I was thinking of 100. Okay, very small number. But if we get 500, then it will be better. So I was thinking like 100 people, make something small. And the wine taste event there were no more than 200 people come on. I don't remember because it was indoors, tables, okay, wine. But no, it was not because we sell the bracelets or whatever, so it was not a big number.
Honestly, I would avoid dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I would avoid dinner. It's more hassle, and that way you give local vendors an opportunity to go sell too, make some business.
Mm-hmm.
Go away from the dinner. It's always a hassle. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's needed for this type of more of a scholarship thing or an appreciation thing. Something.
It's because for example, not precisely dinner per se, but the
appetizers.
Appetizers. That was a keyword. Says that sometimes these guys, the breweries, they actually brown their own appetizers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have to actually provide anything.
Right.
They will say, you know what? If you try this cut with this one, this is the way it goes, or fruits or whatever. So they know their stuff better than they are the connoisseurs. We are not. So I like that. So I think I would like to invite if it's possible, in the next meeting, some guy from the Budweiser, the one that I was talking to. I had his number, and he said, call me. So he can give us a little bit more ideas on, for example, how to take care of that, to avoid dinner, but to have some munchies there that go along, because that's one of the main ingredients. That's the attraction, to have the wine and the beer there.
And the waiters can, when they serve the flights and the appetizer plate to them, they can describe it to them. Mm. This goes with this because of this, and here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Educating the people.
It's culture. It's culture. Yeah.
There's one, I think, unknown here, and it is if COVID is going to become a problem again.
Sure.
Mhm.
So good point. So if COVID does rise, another wave, like we are anticipating because of the variant Delta and what we're watching with the news, you're right. We are expecting another wave. We are. It's already starting. So we just don't know how long it's going to last. So yes, what do we want to do about that?
Yeah, I guess we can regardless because, you know,
We pray that everyone gets vaccinated here in Somerton, and yeah.
Not only that, then we have to do what other businesses are doing. In close. Look where California is going. Los Angeles is going back to.
Well, it's safer to be outdoors than indoors. It's way
definitely.
safer.
But what I'm saying is, just in case, we have to require, face masks.
Well,
if
we can do the
outdoors.
social distancing with the tables.
Mhm,
So whoever sits together, they should hopefully be ones that, if they're
Like
friends or
yeah,
family,
yeah.
right? And then we can space them out so they're not close to each other.
Mhm.
And it's outdoors, so.
Okay, since there is other items, I don't want to cut
Yes.
your presentation.
No, I need
But
to stop
one of the
talking.
things that I would like to set, if it's possible on stone, is the date.
Yes.
So we don't have, in Centennial Park seems to be the best option.
Huh?
Okay, Centennial Park, which is
We're also discussing that right here too.
this one here.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
We can pick the date,
Okay,
and then we can still discuss where.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so you see, for me, I like what you said. You convinced me. See, you're guilty of this. I like the Centennial Park because of the lighting and everything.
Yeah. No, it's nice.
But
there's no parking.
We do have parking in this area.
We
That's
do.
one of the advantages. But what I was thinking is when we did the Christmas lighting, I did count definitely more than 500 people there, because I was helping with the DJ. I was the MC.
Well, let's table the location. So
the location, yes, that's fine.
We can research.
So no, definitely we need to discuss this more.
Yes.
Okay, but let's at least agree on something on the date.
dates.
I believe that at this point, I would recommend just signaling some options and just scheduling like a special meeting.
Mhm.
The commission wants to meet on a separate meeting, because this is a pretty detailed item.
Yeah.
And just because we can always say a few dates, but we have to look at the other factors or anything going on around town, if it's available, the actual facility. And but I believe we're in the right direction. I would say, considering this area, because you have this street also that you could close down, put some vendors here, some brewers, some artists. There's going to be more space here than over there.
On the Centennial.
Yeah. This is not too hard to close down. As long as we don't close Main Street, the expenses are going to be minimal. For traffic control.
We have the street. That's true. We could close down the street, and we have the police helping us do all that, like any other event.
Because if it's well organized, well promoted, people will attend.
Yes.
Definitely. Oh yeah. Especially that everyone is here. We're here on winter.
Yeah, and on a Saturday, I think it has potential. As long as it's well organized, well promoted, and you put it out there.
Yeah,
we're
going to do that.
If it's a Saturday thing, it could be like a day event.
Yes.
So different schedules.
I was
I think we'll do better during the day. Yeah.
A few hours with events, and then
let's do it.
Imagine, see the sunset, okay, with a glass of wine. Okay, so definitely then we need to schedule a special meeting. I don't know how's your times. I'm open, especially if it's on a Wednesday. And we don't have to meet precisely here. We can meet actually on the next room if this area is busy. As long as
that room will be good because of the table, so we can all sit around the table, discuss.
They have a meeting room also on second floor.
Okay.
For that, if there will be a forum, it has to be open to the public, has to be in a public setting. So it would not be able to be held in a conference room or a small location unless there were reasonable accommodations, and we would have to post it as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can post it. That way, because it'd be nice to share and start advertising.
Oh, yeah.
We're planning this festival, and you're welcome to give us your input.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it should be tabled for another discussion, because I think right now we have a massive vision, but we need to kind of bring it back down and see what we're actually wanting, because the way I'm hearing it is we have a massive festival and then we have a small wine tasting event.
Uh-huh.
I mean, both can technically coincide with each
Correct.
other, but it requires a lot of planning, because I guess, for a lack of a better example, you don't want it to turn into a fire fest where people showed up and were expecting an awesome concert and VIP status, but they show up and it's just like a few white tables and bugs everywhere. But yeah, I think we should table it for a deeper discussion so we can narrow it down to an area because that'll help us find a venue. In my opinion, Centennial Park is awesome. It's a beautiful park, but it's not designed to hold or an event. It's more of a relaxation park, if you really want to call it that, because from my point of view, Centennial Park is a risk management and safety nightmare, because it has tons of, there's steps everywhere, sharp points. Now you have people with alcohol and that causes issues. Yeah, because even like with the Corn Festival and Tamale Festival, you do have injuries that occur in the flat surface for the most part. So now you throw in stairs, elevated surfaces,
greenery.
I mean, if the park was bigger, maybe, if it expanded where Public Works has vehicles and whatnot, maybe. But I think Centennial Park would not be the best venue because there's too many.
Yeah, I agree.
Crazy items with that, but nonetheless, like I said, I think we should table it for a special meeting and we can discuss it further.
Okay, so I hear 3 names in Centennial Park, Lozano Place, and what's the name of this park?
Sanguinetti Park.
Sanguinetti.
And just FYI, the Pet Paloozas most of the time is the first Saturday of February. That's also a thing to consider.
What closes?
The Pet Palooza is always the first Saturday of February.
Yeah, but it's not as big event.
That would take us to the next Saturday, which is the 12th of February.
Oh, that would work.
Perfectly.
And,
that one.
And FYI, the snowbirds are still here.
Perfect.
So a day event would be perfect for them. They would come down and enjoy it.
Yeah.
A lot of folks.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
A good PR during that event too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I don't know how long we took discussing this, but I think we're good for today.
Yes, no, that's it. Yeah, because we're excited and sometimes we need to land. Yes, yeah.
Any other questions for me before I sit down?
No, awesome. Now let's hear if you guys feel comfortable. So Jesus can do his job posting, and that we had to meet between tomorrow and before our next meeting for a little session just to actually talk about this event. So it has not to be that long, but at least 1 hour of your time. And yes, you're welcome if you want to be part of it. Okay, open to the public. The work session, how's your calendar? Do you feel, check your calendars as I said, if it's on a Wednesday, maybe Ms. Moreno and we can after school we can be here because I read the short days. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we're available Wednesdays. What about Joanna and what about Jesus?
I'm fine.
I'm flexible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Wednesdays are pretty much open for me. So any day of work.
Perfect. So we can give him a special date to Mr. Mesa.
I can look at
Okay, let me check him out. And so he can help us with the, I hate when applications get out of my, okay. Yeah, I was looking at, oh, this is July. So 2 possible dates, the 28th of July or the 4th of August.
I'm good 28th of July.
I'm good with the 28th of July too.
What time?
Mm-hmm. Same time? Does it work better for you? Okay. Yeah, that will give me time to go home and relax a little bit. Then.
Next week, right? Yeah.
The 28th, yes, next week, next Wednesday. Mm-hmm.
Does that work for Ms. Legit over there? Yeah.
Okay. So as part of the 1 hour, yeah. And yes, bring ideas, a good sense of humor and open mind. Yeah, because this is something good, and I hope it's something that we can do from now on every year. You know, even if we're not here anymore, but that somebody has to say, hey, we have to, you know, we need to say that we're alive and we're kicking as and we're breathing. Okay, so Mr. Jesus.
Yeah, I'll look into reserving this.
July. So the direction is on July 28th, work session, 1 hour from 6 to 7, maybe a little bit longer, but hopefully let's keep it for 1 hour. And
like if there's any sponsors that you can think of that you can reach out to within this week, reach out to them and see where you know how far you get. I'm gonna reach out to one more, maybe more than that, but I have one in mind right now that I haven't reached out to personally, a personal friend, and I'm gonna see if you know. So anyone that you think you can reach out to, any ideas, local artists that you know.
Yeah, AWC. I wanted to see some painters from AWC. The Yuma Art Center, the one that helped us with the paintings right here. They're like really eager to help us also.
Contact them.
I'm just trying to remember her. She gave me her business card. Wow, like 2 years ago when we did.
Moody? Last name is Moody. Are you talking about them?
I don't remember her name.
No.
But anyway, she said, "Hey, if you need me."
Yes, I think you're talking about the husband and wife, right?
Yes.
I know who they are. Her sister was my student.
Wow.
So I can reach out. Littlewood. It's Littlewood. The last name was Littlewood. Littlewood Fine Arts.
Okay.
Have a co-op. They closed, but they're still active. Like.
Oh
yeah. But I have them on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
She's my former student.
Okay. If we don't have any more discussion, any more questions, thank you, Ms. Esther. Awesome presentation. And now I run out of space to write my notes. So work session, I hope I'll see you on July 28th, 6 p.m. For the Wine and Art Festival. And thank you, Mr. Cervantes, for landing us. Okay, sounds like a big event. We need to make it no more than, but I like the concept. He said maybe we don't want, yeah. Maybe not to give the wrong impression that we're doing something really big when we have something, Let's be between Jesus and Joanna. So something in the middle will be perfect. It will be balanced. Yeah. So we need to keep you separated. You know, you're there. So then, there you go. That's the spectrum. Okay. Let's move on to the next item, please. New business. Discussion of upcoming fall 2021 recreation activities and possible formatting a leagues. Josue Rodriguez is first item in the agenda.
Good evening, Commission, Chair, members. This was Mr. Parks and Rec Director. Just want to open up this item by mentioning we have year in and out the same situation. If we're going to go with all recreational or to allow in-tech teams or travel teams or competitive teams into our recreational leagues. As we know and have seen baseball in particular, softball, and T-ball have been programs with low participation. They've been a downhill, you could say, decrement. And at this point, we have considered the options are basically keep it as is and maintaining 100% recreational based on a draft. Anybody that signs in is going to go into a draft, and then the teams are going to be formed. That formula has not worked for the past several years, and it's basically made our activities a little bit stagnant. People are looking for places to bring their full teams, intact teams. They want to play with their friends, with the kids that they've been around for years. And there's also this situation where everybody wants to see their kids participate and play. They don't want to see them on the bench. Mm-hmm. And me as a parent, I wouldn't want to see that either. But there's always the rules that are going to be enforced that monitors and has control over that, which are the playing time and all that. What we want on the commission to consider is, are we gonna want to shoot for the same concept, which has not worked for I've been here almost 2 years and it's been the same for more than that. That's the comments I got from the other coordinator. Council, they want to see every kid have participation, playing time. That's the main purpose of our programs. I mean, improve the quality of life of the residents, make sure they have a quality product to be proud of and part of, and recreate. It's leisure. It's not meant for high competition. It's not AAU basketball or anything like that. It's not travel ball. But please be aware that every season we allow intact teams anyways, because we don't have an option. So let's say we have 2 teams that are formed from the draft and 2 teams it's not a league. You need at least 3 or 4 teams. So what happens at the end of the day, we allow an intact team to come in, and it's always on the terms. And you could say on the presentation card that it's an intact team. It's not a travel team. It's the same thing. The kids are going to have more experience, and they're going to be more advanced. So what happens at the end of the day, the level of play, it's still not level. So what we have to consider is, are we going to do the same, or maybe break them up into 2 divisions and have like a open division and a recreational division? But at the end of the day, I got to be upfront. I've been through the same process as a recreation coordinator. What's going to happen is the open category is going to have a lot of participation, and the recreation is going to be minimal. So it's basically going to be the same deal. And City Council has mentioned that they don't want non-residents to take full advantage of our facilities, of our activities. They want the residents to enjoy, and they're basically our priority. And we don't want to cater to people from the outside or participants that are not from Somerton area code. So, I mean, but it's sports. Kids, we have to expose them to different things. I mean, we can't make our kids stay in a bubble all their life. They're going to go out sometime sooner than later. They're going to be on their own, going to school and all that. And I mean, sports, like life itself, it's competitive. So we can't overprotect kids. I mean,
I have a comment.
Yeah.
Oops, that's loud. I guess I don't see it as like a benefit of secluding kids from working and learning from other kids.
Yeah.
And building their skills. And that's very motivational, actually, especially in sports. So I see it as a bonus. I don't see it as as negative as it's been described by a perception, which is unfortunate because that would actually motivate our children to do better.
Yeah, I mean, there's always programming. You can get creative. I mean, you could do maybe the full season and then break them up in the playoffs and do 2 different divisions so they have a shot at the trophy. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I believe we give everybody a medal, right? So they all get a medal anyways. And of course, have some rules to protect the kids. Any of the beginners, give them some playing time, make sure the coaches have that, you could say, protect the kids. Basically, the coaches have to protect the kids. I mean, and have control of their team. Basically, we use baseball terms. I mean, you're not going to send out your strongest pitcher to pitch against the less competitive team. And you have your pitcher, hey, I mean, go slow with the kids that are beginners.
It's called being ethical.
Yeah.
If you have ethics, then it's not an issue.
Yeah, exactly. But there's means and ways to protect the kids and make sure there's competition, it's leveled. But at the end of the day, like I mentioned, it's been the same situation with baseball, with softball, and to a certain extent with T-ball. Just put it out there to the T-ball. The baseball kids have been playing from 3 to 6 years old together in the same category, and that shouldn't be happening. Mm-hmm. We're going to break them up into 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And after that, 7 and 8 is going to be regular baseball, which that's what they should be playing. I mean, kids that are 6 years old shouldn't be playing with kids that are 3 that are barely learning to walk.
Motor skills are not the same.
Yeah. And so any comments to now?
I think in general, I mean, we can come to that consensus. I think, I mean, I think the way we're doing it right now was just supposed to be kind of a test run to wait back and wait for the feedback. And I think it's proven time and time again that it does impact our programs when we do that hard break. Yeah. So I think as long as rules and guidelines are followed, there could be that harmony between having your more experienced group play with our up and coming rec program group, because it also exposes them to hopefully better themselves, have it as a learning experience. You know, when they go up against a bigger, more, I guess, organized group, hopefully it spurs that inspiration within the team. And I put this on the coach. Hopefully the coach inspires his team to be like, hey, maybe this time we didn't win, but hey, we lost by like 2 points. Maybe next time, if we push harder and focus on our players that may need a bit more assistance or guidance, maybe next game we'll win or at least get closer to it. So it pushes that competitiveness. Yeah. But as long as, like I mentioned, policies and guidelines are followed, because I mean, we don't want the more experienced team to crush the recreation team like nothing quickly, or take advantage that the recreation team may not be as experienced with the fast pitch, and they know that if they fast pitch, the batter's going to freak out. Yeah. So things like that to kind of set those standards. And I do want to comment as well on some of the statements that were made. It's, to my understanding, like more, I guess, seasoned teams, they also pay the fees, right, to use our programs. Like yes. They pay. So that brings me back to the comment of not having city residents participate in our program. And it's like, you know, if a person is paying a fee to use a facility or be part of a program, we should not be alienating them, because it creates that weirdness, I guess, where individuals will never get exposed to the outside world. Yes. You know, you put everybody in a bubble, and it's like the real world doesn't work like that. You know, teams, even like at work, we all come from different places. You know, we're not all like all residents from Somerton working for the same organization, or all residents of Yuma working for the city, and because that would be insane. So I just wanted to address that comment that I think it should be open to anybody who's willing to play by our rules and it's pay the fees that are associated, no special treatment. They'll be treated just like any other rec person, and that they follow our rules as well. And I think as long as that is in play, there can be that harmony and balance between having your more seasoned teams, pro teams, I guess you could say, and your rec program teams. I know it's never going to really balance out, but it at least hopefully encourages that building of players and adds more competition into the play. Because I think initially our concern was that these, I keep calling them professional teams, travel teams, whatever they may be, would take advantage of the situation, and they would know how to work and play the team that they were competing against, knowing that they were amateurs at this point. But then again, like I said, it goes back to the coach. Hopefully the coaches are taking pride with the team that they have and are showing them the ropes and building them up. Because I know that's also been a discussion in the past where some teams may have coaches who may not really be helping the player grow. But I believe that's been addressed these past couple of years. We've had a complete turnaround with some of our volunteer coaches. And I said, I don't want to sound like I'm belittling our coaches. They are outstanding coaches. They are volunteers. We understand that. But ultimately, as a coach, you should invest and help your team grow, your players grow.
Yeah.
You're only as strong as your weakest player. So, but that's all I wanted to say. It's that, that I believe as long as we set those standards and rules, we should be able to live harm.
How are we going to have our children reach their highest potential if we want to keep them at one level?
The only thing we could do, keep them at one level and don't allow full teams. Is you actually expose them to baseball clinics and do exhibition games, or interleague play. That's what they call them, against San Luis Yuma. That's basically invitational games. But when it comes to leagues itself, Jose and myself have talked about it, and with the other recreation staff in the past, you could do three different things. Split them up midways, mid-season, wait for the end of the season and split them before the playoffs. Or you can mix and match. So let's say 3 kids from the draft don't have a team. Full teams, you have to pick them up. And there's rules for playing time, of course. They had to play at least 2 or 3 innings or things like that. Yeah.
I have a question or a couple of questions. Comments.
Yeah.
Number one, is the focus mostly on baseball or softball?
Yeah, we're focused.
Are there other, either sports or individual sports? What I see students doing mostly is skateboarding.
Yes.
And with that part there, they're using it. I always see kids practicing their flips or whatever, tricks they do with skateboard. And it's such an active physical sport compared to baseball, for example, which is a lot of just standing there.
Yes.
I'm not a fan, obviously, of baseball or softball or anything with a stick like that. But is there other options? Or why is the focus so?
We are not focusing only on baseball or softball, but those are the ones that need the most help. And honestly, here in South County, the main top activities or sports are and will always be soccer and baseball. There, you could say in Spanish, la base. And after that, when it comes to sports, and we would like to integrate new activities, but first we got to build what we have. And honestly, we are hurting right now when it comes to baseball and softball. And but the skate park's coming. It's coming in. The skate park, the project's coming in. So there's going to be a new skate park over there towards the south at Joe Munoz, and there's going to be an additional platform. And later down the road, there is always a possibility of a tournament and things like that. Yeah.
The city is providing a place for the kids
Yeah.
to practice. Why not pay attention to developing their skills?
Yeah, and then I mean, and the last thing I heard, it was going to be an Olympic sport, the skateboarding sport.
Right now, it's actually under what is it called when it's a
Review?
presentation of just kind of a press. They're going to be doing a presentation, but it's not for competition.
Yeah.
It's for what is coming. But I guess the entanglement here is the council has a vision that, at least that's what I understood, that they would like to see our parks being utilized more by our local residents.
Yeah.
But then we have the problem.
Participation is extremely low.
Exactly. Then how do we help the council with that vision? And at the same time, how do we increase the numbers locally if we don't have them? That's, I guess, I mean, I understand, Somerton first, but you're saying that the numbers are not there. I mean, if we close the parks to outsiders, then we're gonna have empty fields.
But the real thing is how to motivate the people here, the kids here. That is the main thing. It's not real to shut down other people, but like motivate the locals to participate.
Is that what the council is actually visioning, or what is there? Because it's one thing is what I'm hearing you is this actually the opportunity more to locals instead of
and
outsiders.
Of course, the priority is the residents of Somerton and the city of Somerton, and promote sports here, programs, and things of that nature. But there's no exclusivity. I mean, we allow participation, or participants come out of town and from anywhere. If they want to come from Welton, they're more than welcome. We're not going to discriminate anybody, of course, but our target group is Somerton residents. And that's what council's direction is, or the intent, of course, that to focus on the city of Somerton residents. But I mean, like I mentioned, even the competitive teams here in Somerton, they don't play here in Somerton. They play in Yuma or they play in San Luis, Mexico. So some of our kids that are the most active in these particular activities are not even playing here in Somerton. So that tells you a lot that, of course, our league, it's not up to their, it's not meeting their needs or standards.
Yeah.
And that's not good. I mean,
That because you'll never have growth.
yeah, we won't have growth. I mean, and all the leagues around here in the county or even across the border, they're all ran the same. I mean, it's full teams, and the new kids have to find a team to play with, and they're given a shot. I mean, because it's not professional, it's amateur, it's recreational. At the end of the day, they don't get paid. They're amateur until they get a contract and they get paid. That's when they're professionals. But that's we do plan on doing some type of orientation to the coaches, because sports people are very passionate and they're competitive in nature. But they got to understand that their kids, and first is their future. Focus on their education. If they make it up to the pro level, great. But it's only going to be one out of probably 100,000 or 1 million. I haven't seen the last stat, but it's one in many that make it actually to the pros, especially here in the U.S. being the top leagues.
But I see that it's not so much making it to the pros, but it's more giving them the opportunity to reach higher heights, to build their skills. If that's the recreation that they are passionate about and that's their sport, give them the opportunity to build themselves up.
Yeah, and that's all. The intent is, I mean, have the services here. Why can't they play here? We have the fields. I mean, and we have the league. So, and like I mentioned, this is all development. It's recreational, it's for leisure. The main thing is leisure. I mean, some kids are taking it more seriously because they have that dream, and we plan on supporting it as part of it. But mainly it's recreation. It's for development, of course, socializing and learning some skills. But the main thing is recreation. It's not meant to prepare locals or anybody for professional sports. That's what there's travel ball and all those tournaments.
And I think this is a bigger picture type of item. I know I'm going to sound horrible with this, but I mean, if the city really wants to focus and make a difference with the Parks and Rec program, they need to look at the budget, because every year it seems like budgets get slashed, and then we see other projects that are sometimes questionable get funded. But at least from my point of view, because I bet if we did a cost analysis of how much is spent per recreation program user, ours, what the city spends per rec user versus what City of San Luis spends versus City of Yuma spends. And I bet you ours is going to be on the very low end of the spectrum. And I think it goes back to what is the city investing back into the Parks and Rec program, or department, I should say. Because, I mean, we've seen some of our facilities and gotten complaints in the past where the fields are out of shape. Why? Because, well, there's no funding to really keep them up to par. Or the backstop is falling apart, or the fence is so rusted it's become a safety issue. So it's things like that I think are the bigger scheme, the bigger items, because if we can't maintain proper facilities for our residents, let's say, if we want to focus on that aspect, then what's going to draw the residents to use our facilities? You know, because if I'm there, John Q. public taxpayer, and I go to one of our flagship parks and there's no benches or everything's falling apart, what's going to make me as a parent take my kids to that park? Is like, I'll rather drive 15 minutes and take him to Smucker Park or into one of the City of Yuma parks. Why? Because I know equipment is in much better shape. So that's why I wanted to throw that out there. I think it's a bigger picture item that needs to be addressed, because if we don't have the facilities, no one's going to stick around to use them. And I know Parks and Rec has been doing an outstanding job with the resources they have, but I think it could be better if there was more focus and possibly financial support behind some of these items. But that's my 2 cents, because once again, kind of going to that, I guess that movie quote, like, if you build it, they will come, you know? One of the items as well is like, we only have 2 city flagship parks, which is Joe Munoz and Council at this point. I think the city is due to maybe have another park down the road. I think it's part of the master plan.
High school.
So that it increases our footprint as far as the facilities that we offer. Because if we don't have the facilities, and we can plan and discuss bringing more people, but with more people, then where are they going to practice? Where are they going to play? Because you'll need fields that are open for practice while games are being played in other fields. Kind of a similar conversation we had with the Tower Cup organization, where we did have the fields, but we also needed to account for practices that were occurring and in regular park use. So that's what I mean. It's a bigger picture item that has many variables that need to be ironed out.
Yes.
But I guess that's my 2 cents from my point of view. I mean,
Yes, I would agree. When those resources need to be provided to our children, you know, and I mean, not that someone else might take them away from us. It's just that we need to provide them those resources to grow.
Yes, and this is the current situation we're at, and the dilemma is always the same every season. And soccer, it's not as bad because there's a lot more participation with soccer. And I think the residents are happy, or the teams, the participants in general are happy as is. They don't want to allow, or they're not recommending that we allow full teams or in-tech teams for soccer. But with baseball and In softball, we advertise it like that, but at the end of the day, we do allow a team or two. It's been happening because there's no participation. And we can do more. I apologize. Mm-hmm. It's $45 with a uniform. Mm-hmm. They're paying you might think like around $100 without just a T-shirt. We give them a nice uniform and $45 with the registration. So we can do really more.
For do you see like children and families that truly can't even afford the $45? Maybe we can do a sponsorship for those families.
Yeah, I would say, when it's their justification and they meet some type of requirements, I believe the commission, it would be a nice gesture but of course not everybody, because $45 times $45, they'll accumulate fast.
Maybe the coaches or whoever was working with the families can identify that,
Because for the general, even for the worker that works on the minimum wage, you can afford $45 for your kid to play 2 months of an activity, because it's not like a weekly thing. It's like for 2 months. They're going to get even a uniform out of it. So
multiple kids and they're like, if they're in poverty, I'm going to say parents cannot afford it if they're in poverty.
Well, it depends how the situation, how many kids, but I believe, the parents are working. $45, you'll spend it going to Jack in the Box in one lunch.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to my earlier comment. I don't think it's so much the fees, the fees or the income of individuals. I think it boils down to, am I as a parent willing to pay $45, more than $45 for my child to participate in a program if the facilities are falling apart? Yeah. So, kind of like, what is going to be my return on investment for my child to really, like, am I willing to pay the $100, let's say, for somebody to play on a field that may not be the best? Or am I just going to stick to, I'll just pay the $45? It's kind of like the difference of buying peanut butter. Am I going to buy the peanut butter that's a name brand, or am I going to buy the peanut butter that has a peanut drawn on it? It's still peanut butter, but which one is going to really taste better?
I understand. We could have better facilities, but at the end of the day, baseball is baseball. The diamond, it's flat, it has its bases. Back in the day when Somerton was just probably 1,000 people, we had more teams, and they were playing in the sandlot. Right now, the fields are not too bad. The baseball field, we do need a lot more staff and better equipment, but the actual fields are not bad at all. They're very comparable in quality to San Luis. We're right there with San Luis in terms of the quality of the fields, and with Yuma, we're not that far behind. And but I do agree with Mr. Cervantes. We need more staff and better equipment to actually maintain the fields.
Yeah, because
in better shape.
The level of service is, by all means, outstanding with the resources your department has. But I've been out there when your staff is prepping the field, and I don't know if they still drive it, but they had a little truck that I think burned more oil than gas, because as it was being driven, you'd see this smoke cloud behind it. And it's like, that's very embarrassing. But yeah, ultimately, I think it does turn into that, because once we are in a good situation where we offer the same services that San Luis does or City of Yuma does. Mm-hmm. And from my point of view, it doesn't matter where the people come from. If they're driving all the way from Walton, if they want to come and play for one of our teams or be part of our rec program, cool, awesome. That's more people to use our facilities and our programs. But it's that fine balance, it needs to be identified. And I think it requires the bigger picture view of things.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I think you and your staff are on the right track. And I think with the support from not only us, but I think from the coaches and the sports community here in our community, I think a lot of stuff can be and will be accomplished. So it's just, putting those things out on the table and being like, hey, this is why things are not as we would like them, or we need more support with this. So,
because your idea is to actually have more leagues, am I right? In order to keep them
just open the leagues a little bit more that need more participation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're still doing it, might as well make it wide open instead of semi-open.
Yeah.
Is it possible that just the popularity of baseball as a sport is or that's not the case?
No, it's not the case, because here in this region, I mean, sport probably that's exporting, you could say, from Mexico and has more presses at the highest level, it's baseball here. And most of the players that make it to the pros are from San Luis Mex. But it's still our people and the same people, and they're getting to that level, and you don't see that in any other sport. I like all sports; it's not baseball, but just to put it out there, I don't see that in soccer. I don't see that in MMA or boxing.
Mexico, I know.
Yeah.
Baseball is big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
they have a lot of professional.
Yeah, and they're from there. I mean.
Yeah.
The whole, Sonora, California,
Tijuana, and Sinaloa, No, and they make it to the highest level. I mean,
no, actually, during the last few months, actually, I used to walk behind the Yuma complex, the baseball complex, and gosh, the 6 fields that they had, they were busy. Buses, you name it. I mean, it's not that. It's just that, I guess, in between what the council sees and what is possible, is what is a little bit the problem, because we have more leagues, but we don't have enough facilities, or we don't have the numbers. I guess that's the problem. So how do we solve this problem? So I guess at this point, you have the passion for baseball. Open leagues, do whatever. I don't know, make it more accessible to everyone. I think you have a vision. If we just go the whole thing, safety and all that stuff, it needs to be considered. Unfortunately, we're not going to have another park until probably 3 or 4 more years. If the high school goes through, hopefully we'll go through that. Now that has been approved and everything. But just to finish this discussion, because we're going, I mean, it's important to hear what the council wants. And it's basically to give more opportunities to our local players here and the opportunity to play. Leisure, recreation, I guess those are the key words. And if you can actually, I don't know if you have a magic formula to create those leagues, but you have a big task in front of you to actually satisfy the wishes of the council in this case. But the thing is, you will have a support to keep the ball rolling.
Yes, I mean, and I think we're most likely going to give it another shot this year.
Mm-hmm.
Go the same, and because we have been very shorthanded. I mean, when it hasn't been COVID, it's been we've been out a coordinator and then out another coordinator, and you can't build upon that lack of stability.
Yeah.
So we have some continuity. I mean, when we organize things ahead of the schedule, we can do a better job of promoting, doing outreach, basically. So hopefully we're gonna do better. We're gonna be better at that for this upcoming round of activities. But if it still doesn't work, then we'll consider something else. Just want to put it out there, and so we're on the same page. And what we're working on, because this is always a key topic once we get to the spring season and fall seasons.
Mhm.
Anything you want to mention? So I believe.
No, well, I mean, say something. Yeah. Most of it's been covered. That is our issue, though, that council won't allow, pro teams, like you guys call them, to participate. And just to share with you, right now, there are 3 Yuma County teams playing nationals. They're up in Utah. One of those teams is based out of Somerton.
Wow.
They're out there, they're playing. They've actually won in the past, but none of those kids are allowed to play here because they're pro, they're at a different level. And one of the reasons why we mix our teams different ages is because we can't complete those teams. That's why we have 3-year-olds playing with 7-year-olds, and that's because we can't finish those teams, and our goal is to where we could have one big league and have these travel teams pick up local kids and have those kids compete at their level, help them with their growth. And it's not the facilities, it's just us not being allowed to let them participate. That's one of the issues. And like I mentioned, we have plenty of kids. It's just us getting the okay to allow them to play here. There's about 14 travel teams here in Yuma County, all between the ages, of up to 15-year-olds that can actually participate here, but they're not allowed. So, and like I mentioned, one of our Somerton teams is up in Utah playing right now. They're out there playing versus other states, and they're representing Arizona and they're representing us here in Somerton.
So why not bring them back to mentor the ones that are here right now, learning and growing?
And that's what we're trying to do, because they have siblings that are trying to get at that level.
Right.
But the older ones are not allowed to.
So who's not allowing them?
Well, it's a closed league. It's the whole recreational versus
open.
And it's a difference between leisure and so basically the policies right now that the council or division of the council is let's actually focus more on the Somerton residents for recreation. Okay. And if they open for travel teams, okay, then they're afraid that they're going to be taking their basically the Joe Munoz Park or the other park that is at the. Correct me if I'm wrong, because this is what I'm getting that impression.
Yeah, it's basically that, and the issue is that they tend to forget that those teams are local kids.
Correct.
They're locals. They're Yuma County kids. I mean, we might get a travel team from San Diego or Phoenix, but most of them are from Yuma County.
Maybe we're having issues with people thinking they own the parks themselves. I don't know.
It's actually
and just to mention, the priority also is the safety of the kids. We don't want to risk any injuries. So it's a kid, 12-year-old that's at a good level of play, competitive, will throw somewhere around 58 to 65, even 68 miles per hour. And a kid who's a beginner at that age is never going to be able to hit a ball like that because he just hasn't developed the skills for that. But on the other hand, those kids are trained. They have some control of their movement, their pitches, the fundamentals. They have the fundamentals of that at that age. And when they're playing with beginners, they have no control of their movements, their fundamentals. So they're going to get hit anyways. And we have to combine the ages, for example, from 7 to 9, 10 to 12. you're never going to compare the strength or the size of a 10-year-old with a 12-year-old or a 3-year-old with a 7-year-old. So there's also a risk there. I mean, we're having to mix and match just to have activities for the kids. And basically it's the same deal. It's just a matter of we're going to allow it to be open, or we just want to keep it a little bit more recreational. And
one idea, and it's my final idea on this. It's I'm thinking about we're teachers at a middle school.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way that the school could give credit to students who participate in these leagues. You know, we could ask, and that would bring more.
Yes.
participants.
Oh, I see. Probably that could be done through the PE department, something like that, to support the city.
I mean, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
I mean, the facilities have been built, and they're lacking participants, and our kids don't have enough for everybody to belong to a team. So
yeah, I mean, we could do all the outreach. We could do put some incentives out there, like free clinics and some exhibition games. But at the end of the day, we can't force the public to register the kids who play. And I know the department needs to refresh in its image, and has maybe lost some credibility along the way with so many changes and concerns. But I mean, the public has to trust the new team, and that we're trying to improve, and we need them to be with us and be part of the team, because it's all for the kids. I mean, they're from San Luis or from Mexico or from Yuma. Kids are kids. I mean, and we're in it for them and for the best interest of them. And like Mr. Cervantes said, I mean, it's part of their development. Sooner or later, they're going to turn 18 and they should be out and about, and they're not going to be in a bubble. There's going to be harder things than a 90 mile per hour fastball coming their way, and it's part of their development. But yeah, I mean, that's all we have. I mean, because we can talk about this 3 days. Yeah. And any further questions?
No, I will.
Just for historical reference, council requested that change based on the recommendations from the commission back in 2018, I believe, or 2019, just for reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember almost 2 years ago, there were heated discussions on this issue.
We'll put a plan together with something more concrete and bring it back for your review.
Okay.
Get some feedback from more coaches and things like that.
And definitely will be great if we can actually meet the coaches. If you please invite them or invite us to one of your meetings, so they know us, we know them. I live, across the street, Joe Munoz Park, and I go and I sit there sometimes to see them play, and it's like it will be nice to know also their point of view. Get a little chat. I don't know, in the future if you can later on.
Yes,
that would be great too. For them to see. I mean, they're volunteers too, so.
I want to thank our new coordinator, Josue. Yes, Josue, for your perspective and sharing what you're advocating for the kids and wanting this. I really appreciate that, because that's what we need, someone that looks out for the best interest of the children. And so awesome job already. Good job.
Okay. If any more questions for Mr. Mason, matters of item 8.2, financial update on the Summerton Parks and Recreation. 8.1. If not, let's move on to new business. Item 8.2, financial update on the Summerton Parks and Recreation budget. I heard that you have good news.
Good news.
Yep, look at that.
Wow, baby.
Good evening, Commission Chair members. Here before you have a full overview of the expenditures and revenues, which Ms. Serena Gallegos was very helpful with. She put together this full report. It's very detailed, and it reveals the ins and outs of funding as of July 20, 2021. This is what the commission has available. It accounts for expenditures and revenues all the way till November of 2015. And when it comes to expenditures, it's all the way back to tracing to July 7, 2016. You can see coming in, we had 15,985 with 80 cents, and subtracting the expenditures, which is $11,127 with 67 cents. So we give or take, we have almost five grand. It's a good number. I mean, I believe it's I don't know if it's been the highest number.
Yes. I can see. No, yeah, look at the before the 20. Okay.
It's a good number that I'm pretty sure the commission is going to take full advantage of and administer. I would say at this point, administer the fund. Your best convenience.
I just want to say I'm really proud of us all for the awesome teamwork that we've had over the years as commissioners, because we've always pitched in and worked together to make this happen. And then look at all of the sponsoring we've done. I'm really proud of us. I'm really happy to see that in black and white.
It's an amazing. 2 years ago we were actually, you will be surprised, we were at $150. With this, we were discussing and said, come on, this is not possible. Yes, we were very close to being the red. So my vision is to at least go for $10,000. With the one in our festival, we should be able to get somewhere close there. I'm pretty sure with your vision and everything, so we can help more and also help. If you see the need for, as Ms. Ezra said, that if there's a need that one kid doesn't have the money or whatever, and on the one-to-one basis, just continue helping whoever is out there.
I'm really excited because look at all of the sponsoring we've done with kids that compete in tournaments, and they're sports tournaments. And we've been able to financially support them so they can reach their dreams. That's why we do what we do. So our Parks and Rec need to support that as well. I just want to throw that in.
Yeah.
Questions?
No, I want to thank Ms. Serena Gallegos for the detailed report. I think I've mentioned it before. When she took the helm of finance, she wrangled the big beasts, and it looks like she has controlled it, because this is the first time, actually maybe one of two times. The first one, of course, she led the charge on, that did provide the commission a full-blown breakdown of what's coming and what's gone out. So I really want to extend a great thanks to her and her team for keeping us in the loop. And I know they dug through tons and tons of financial records to find some of our expenses, and it's no simple task.
No, it's not. And some funding was allocated in some other account, so she had to juggle, make some transfers and things of that nature. But I just asked for a outstanding balance, and she sent me this. So yeah, she goes above and beyond.
Wow, yes. Make sure that you let her know that we're extremely pleased, yes, with her work. And I was kind of perceiving this already. So thank you. It matches really good.
Any further questions? That's all I have with our financial report.
No, thank you. I don't know. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Item number 8.3. Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay, we'll move on to item 8.3, discussion of possible recommendation for contractual minutes recorder for the Somerton Parks and Recreation Commission regular meetings, Mr. Francisco Vasquez.
Thank you. Good evening. Long time no see. No, anyways, based on the need that we want to be on the same boat as everybody else, but there is a need in order to get there. Okay. As a commission, we do have our little budget there. We are planning activities and things like that, and we need to keep track of our minutes. But it's not the same to be sitting behind, not to be here. So with that in mind, I would like to request if we can actually afford someone to actually help us take care of those minutes. Since Mr. Cervantes has been asked, for those minutes of our meetings, I mean, Mr. Cervantes, Mr. Mesa, that in order to be in compliance with everybody else. So I see that, okay, and I'm not actually arguing the fact that as a commission, we need to have some sort of minutes. As a matter of fact, I was actually asking for minutes because it keeps records of what we're saying, but it's not the same as doing the minutes than to having someone just sitting right there and helping us, transcribe or actually take live minutes right on the spot. This is a conversation that maybe already we kind of we're seeing the need, and we have discussed a little bit, but I would like to have actually someone helping us definitely to take minutes. Okay. And the person, if that person actually takes minutes, our secretary will oversee that those minutes are actually faithful to our meetings, and then she will sign them off, and then it can be presented for you to do it, whatever. I mean, to file or whatever, and then, as other commissions. So I don't know how for example, planning and zoning does, okay, but they do actually have someone, so I don't know if it's just for the good of the heart or that person is getting paid. In my case, as a library board member, board of trustees, we do have someone actually who take care of our minutes. Okay. In my 16 years I've been in the library board of trustees, none of us actually write in the minutes. And now I see that the need to have that person on board. Okay. And I'm not thinking about someone, full-time. It's just whatever hours we need here. So we are 2 hours. Then that person to be paid for those 2 hours. And if it can come from our budget, so be it. If this, at least until the fiscal year is established by the council next year, but for the upcoming months to have someone to help us. Now, if there's, we can find a volunteer to help us with the minutes, even better.
So my question is, who does the minutes for the other commissioner meetings and city council, and why don't they help? Since they're asking for it.
For the other commissions, I would have to look into it, see what they're doing right now at the moment. It's either going to be one of the commission members or staff. I can double check and forward the information.
Okay, let's do that, because if they're asking for that, then there's like Mr. Vasquez already stated, there's there's things in place for that. It's usually not someone that's participating as a commissioner.
Mhm.
I don't see city council doing it themselves.
No, they don't. And they do have someone actually transcribe it. And also, as I said, for the Yuma County Board of Trustees that I see there, when I was because I have been the president, now I'm the current vice president for the board. And there is someone already helping us taking, and it's a staff member actually, okay, that help us with the minutes. And those minutes are actually forward to us for review and acceptance.
And who was the one who said that we need to turn in minutes to begin with anyways?
Just to be in compliance, our city clerk, I mean, because there's people that at times request the minutes. There's not many requests, but if there should be, the minutes should be up to date. And we are missing a few.
Yeah, we're missing months of January and April, and that's the problem. So in order to get there and to be in compliance, we need to have someone. What I'm saying is, I need to see someone actually helping us with the minutes. Okay, and cannot be one of us. Okay, because we are in that position. So it's either we're paying attention. I'm trying to take my own notes for Christ's sake right now. Okay, right here. But if someone is actually typing, it's much, much, much better. So with more accuracy. And yes, I would like to be in compliance. And I want our commission to be in compliance with, just in case if someone is asking us, what are the minutes of last month or the prior month. Okay. But in order to get there, I see the need to have someone helping us taking care of those minutes. So if you can help us actually investigate it, if we can actually hire someone part-time basis, 2 hours doing our meetings, or I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be the help from the staff is not coming. We're not going to get any help from the staff. You don't have the resources, I guess, because I see you. I mean, at the city council, I understand they are the government, so they have everyone on board. For us as a commission, we are the commissioners, and it's you. So we had to find a way to satisfy that little tiny problem, okay, which is taking care of those minutes. And the best suggestion is actually, even if we have a recorded meetings, okay, we still need someone to actually go through those minutes and type them up, okay. And as by the fact that we are here volunteering for this, and also spending time at home trying to go through those, it's too much. And I have heard Joanna's point of view is too much, and it is too much.
No one else does it.
And no one else does.
So they need to supply the resources, and that's it.
Okay.
Real quick, I've been doing some research on this item, and this may be an item for legal to provide opinion on. But according to the state open meeting laws, there is a subsection that in 2007, that's when it was decided that advisory committees and subcommittees must take minutes or record their meetings, including the executive session. But then it goes on and says that advisory committees and subcommittees established by public bodies of cities or towns with populations greater than 2,500 must post a statement describing legal action or any recording of a meeting on its website within 10 days of a meeting. So I guess I want legal opinion on that, because if I'm reading it correctly, if a recording of the meeting is sufficing, then we do broadcast our videos and record them through YouTube, and that can be attached to the iCivics website, just like they do with some of the council meetings, I should say. So that may be an option, but I mean, at least to meet the compliancy item. Now, a written minutes should still be created, of course, right? But I think it allows more flexibility as to when it's due. Because, so that's based on my my research and understanding of it. And I'll forward that statement for city legal to review. Because if that is the case, and we may be trying to reinvent a wheel that's already been invented for us by the state, because we don't create city policy or law. We're just an advisory committee. Like planning and zoning, they do create city ordinances and policies, so they would have to do the full-blown, I think, minutes per section, just like city does. The city has the advantage that they have a city clerk that is present at the meeting, and it's their responsibility to take notes. But I just wanted to throw that out there to see if that is a route that the commission wanted to explore.
I vote for the recording if that's the requirement.
It's actually being recorded, as a matter of fact. Right. It is actually being broadcast.
It's always been recorded, which means we're in compliance.
But that's what he's actually going to be addressing the legal to see if we can satisfy that. And the other thing is, if we need to actually, besides on having our meetings broadcast or recorded, okay. Also, if they need to have the minutes in paper.
Their requirement, but not by law, like Jesus stated. And I want that to be, it's being recorded, obviously. So if they want us to use our hard-earned money to pay someone, well, then that's their decision, isn't it? Because it's not a requirement by law.
So it'll be just based on legal opinion. And if there's policy and procedure that is established already, then we will align with policy and procedure that is dictated. I do want to point out, though, that I think the P&Z meeting minutes are missing on the iCivic site. And there's some sections where you try to go to meeting minutes and it requires you to log on. So I don't think they've been made public yet. So I'd like to bring that to the city's attention as well. But I just wanted to throw that out there. I mean, that could be an alternative route, or we could still continue exploring the
possibility to have
somebody contracted. Yes. Because contracting somebody, I think, would open another can of worms, because we would have to hire them as an independent contractor and have them have an actual, like, provide us a W-9, because we'd be issuing a check or a payment from the commission to them. Like I said, I hate to be that guy all the time, but
also that's what we need the help of the staff right here. So, if that's the venue, because one of the things that right now there is a need based on the fact that, okay, I see Ms. Joanna trying to put the minutes, okay, and at the same time trying to be member of the commission is two different things, okay, and all of us having a full-time job, okay, that's the problem, okay. So we need to explore this, and I hopefully you will get an answer from the legal department, giving us a little bit more direction. And we need help from the staff when you're also to see if just in case, if we need to have actually someone in live here, taking like a clerk or someone else, Mr. What will be our steps for us to actually get that person? Okay, are we responsible for the W-9, or the city will be actually drawing off? Put a little money aside from our own budget, okay, and they will help us, with that portion. So I guess my request to the staff is to help us explore the possibility. How can we actually solve this issue of hiring someone on a part-time? If the city can help us, okay, and let us how much it's going to cost us and how many hours, okay, in order to be in compliance, or if we're okay in matters of legal compliance according to what Mr. Cervantes read. I believe that we're in compliance because this is an open meeting and it's being broadcast. I actually went into YouTube and I searched Parks and Recs Commission, and I was able to find 2 meetings. Okay, so that means they're there, they're in the air. Okay, we're not actually behind doors. Okay, and yes, not all the meetings are actually posted, okay, or accessible to the public. Why not? That's, I don't know. But I was able to find two. I think it was one back in October, one in December, and that's basically it. But I noticed here in the page that you guys are putting right now on the computer, it actually says the recent meetings, and it actually includes some Parks and Recs meetings. If you look on your right side, okay, maybe there, you know, maybe we can go back into those meetings, and at least we can find the meetings for the month of April. And January was the other one that is missing. I think January and April, based on this recent meetings thing, it says more. And then after that, hopefully for the month of August, we may have someone who can help us with our next meeting, with the minutes. So two things. We need an answer from the legal department, and we need help from the staff to help us in guiding us, just in case if we can hire someone. How can we do this in the best and proper way? Okay, and that's my little token for this part. Questions? Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I now turn over back the chair seat to Mr. Francisco Vasquez.
Thank you. Okay. Let's go into new business. 8.4, discussion of possible action to purchase new uniforms for commission members. Ms. Ezra?
Early, short, and sweet.
Yes.
I'm petitioning new shirts for everyone because we have new members. And so we just need to order a new order of commissioner shirts. And I don't know, last time they were purchased, I think either Parks and Rec or City Council, I don't remember who purchased our blue shirts. But do you recall who purchased? I know we didn't purchase them.
Yes, it was pulled from the commission budget.
It was?
Back when the previous park director was
I didn't know it was pulled from our budget. Okay.
Yeah, because the understanding was that we would pick up the first shirts and it never went anywhere from there. But it was, I believe they were procured from Mother and Daughters Embroidery. So in case we, that would be the option to purchase a shirt from again, I believe, just so we don't have to pay the
the digital. What's the name?
Because I think it's Mothers and Daughters Embroidery. I think they're on 24th Street.
Yeah, I know where they're at.
But
I think I know. Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's why, Mr. Vasquez, yours was procured from a different vendor. I think that's why it has different. A different quality. But yeah, the commission did procure the shirts based on the budget that was allotted at the time.
And
okay.
Do you have an idea how much is the cost for?
No, I as far as costs, I have no record of that. That was handled strictly by the previous Park and Recs director.
It's about give or take about $30 per uniform embroidered already.
Okay, it's not bad.
Which is not bad.
Well, if city council doesn't want to do it, or somebody doesn't want to sponsor us, and we'll just sponsor ourselves, I'm laying it out there. I don't know.
But that's
it's not that big of an expense. I mean, I believe the commission has authority to buy uniforms from the budget.
So that since it is actually in the agenda and we accept the agenda as it was, so definitely, for example, when my wife is doing the laundry, she has to be like very careful, like, because it has been with me for almost 2 years now, and Jesus has been, I don't know for how long, with that same.
How long has it been? 4 years since we've been on the commission?
Yeah, I guess more or less 4 years, maybe just over 4 years now. Because yeah, and I think the reasoning that it was charged back to our account was it's considered I guess an operations cost for the commission. But I mean, there may be other routes to present this, but as far as my knowledge is concerned, it was bought by our funding back then.
Okay.
But back then, it's when we didn't have money.
There's
but
1, 2, 3.
But nonetheless,
4, 5,
going back
6.
to the main discussion item, yeah, we do need properly
Representation.
Yes.
for our new commission members.
And to be on the same page, same color.
Yeah. And all our new members don't have it. So we need to fill in that gap.
We recently bought some uniforms for all the staff. It was nice quality, fresh polos, and they were about $15 to $20 a piece, and they have style for women and for men.
We need that.
All the sizes. And I can present just a sample. Commission likes that style. We can order just, there's all kinds of colors available too. So,
okay.
yeah.
For next.
Share that with us.
Yeah, I'll send a picture tomorrow with
Okay.
yeah.
So can we vote today?
To actually, you can make motion if you would like to actually, if you want to consider as an expense, as a part of the operational cost for the commission. Yeah, because if we don't give the direction very specific, it's gonna wait for months and months and months and months. And now we need to move on.
So I make a motion to start purchasing these
You
shirts.
need to allocate
Huh?
You need to allocate a specific estimate.
Oh, a specific estimate. So we'll do either between $20 to $30 times
1, 2,
9,
3, 4, 5, 6.
because we plan to have 9 commissioners
It's 7. I believe it was revised.
currently.
Yeah,
Right
So
now,
7 to 9.
right now is
actually, yeah, right now it's 7. With the 2 new appointments that occurred last night in the prior meeting, we are technically at full membership at 7 commission members.
Aren't we at 6?
Yeah, Sergio Molina is here, plus last night actually
yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We
Yeah,
have 1 open seat still.
yeah.
So that's another topic, I think. Is that for new business?
That's what it should be for 7, at least for 7.
For right now, because we have
Right now, 7 members.
Okay. So yeah, so 7 times what? Between 20 and 30 is what?
Yeah,
30? Yeah.
So,
Okay. How much? 210?
yeah.
Around $210.
So it can be done, and to have some consistency in the logo. Okay, I mean, Mr. Cervantes says mothers and daughters embroidery. So from the same place.
Or where he said.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, as long as I guess the city has a
Contract.
contract with, we could procure from anywhere. Unless, the concern is they may charge for a template setup, which is
But they have
typically
it
another
already.
$35.
They have it.
But not our.
Oh, because ours is
template.
commission. That's
So
true.
then-
We'll have to find out.
But I mean, so yeah, I mean, technically, I guess you could state a reasonable amount. You can do
Let's get quotes.
approve as to not exceed
Not to exceed
amount of,
250. There you go.
250.
and if it does, and we'll bring it back to discussion.
Okay. So I motioned for a budget of $250 to start with, and we can get quotes from both identities for the shirts right away. Who seconds that motion?
Okay, so we have a motion by our Secretary Commission, Joanna Ezra, and a second by Ms. Moreno, Commission member. Okay, so we have a motion I mean, everyone in favor to, for the most, I mean, for the, I'm actually running out of saliva ideas. My brain is frozen right now. Okay. Anyone in favor to approve the proposed motion for the $250 for buying the commission members shirt, polo shirts? Everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that carries. So that gives you the little task to make sure that we have some shirts for next month meeting. Please. Mhm.
Do we need to like
Sizes.
sizes?
Oh.
So, okay, so everyone's on the group text. Yes, everyone's in the group text.
Mhm.
That's the easiest, fastest place to communicate
Mhm.
everything else. We can just do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, we've done the group test as soon as we can.
Sizes, yeah, sizes and color.
Mhm.
We need to go on like color.
No, but I thought you guys have adopted the blue color.
No. You wanna go
How come you come with the blue color?
No, the color was already here. That's why all of our material has been blue. but I mean, it just depends. I mean,
Mhm. Does the city has a specific color or is it green?
No, you can use whichever color you like. I mean, you want to go with the Kelly green. And
Why don't change just for this new?
yeah, and, no, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. I don't care about the color. I mean,
just go with a universal color.
Mhm. Yeah, the same color for everyone, but different color.
Just don't go with black because here is warm almost the whole year.
Uh-huh.
I like black or cat. The green, that what's that green color?
I like that green. No, it's too light.
The army green or avocado green.
Forest green.
Forest green.
No,
It's-
green. I know. Like the military color. Calico kind of. I like black.
You like black.
Black always looks good.
It goes with everything else, so black.
yeah, it just depends. Yeah, whatever color works. I mean, it's really
Yeah.
grasping at minor things, but I mean, you just have to account for presentation and stuff like that. So you don't want a light color because if you're out working at an event, if you sweat, it's going to be noticeable.
Mhm.
And you don't want an extremely dark color because if you get dirty, it's going to be
Noticeable too.
noticeable. So,
Mhm.
but I mean,
I have ASU polo black shirt is my favorite because it just looks sharp. It looks really good. No matter what.
I like my library board. It's actually black. It's a polo black and it looks very also like.
I have black and a green polo for school, and I prefer the green. I mean, the shape. How it's one is like for women, and the black one isn't. Oh, that's. But and I wear too much black, so I prefer. I would prefer a different color. There's an autism color one that's multicolored. It's black with different colors. Oh well.
Okay.
We could.
I will go.
I don't mind whatever color.
I'll go any direction, but we need to have a kind of a consensus. What
You
color?
can vote right on
the
the
next
side
one.
for that.
Mhm.
I don't think that has to be.
Yeah. So
Motion, right?
basically,
no.
send. Okay, let's send Jesus actually your preference. Okay, the size and color.
Okay.
So whatever you see that actually rules, we have our group. You know, face green or.
You'll share the pictures, right? It's like you'll show us the options. And
Yeah,
Oh,
there's all kinds of color. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll send the
Yeah.
link. that
Why
has
don't
the
you
actual-
just put like 3 colors? You know, this, and this, and we choose. In
Okay.
se acabó el problema.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Okay. So let's go into item number 9, summary current events. Mr. Jesus Mesa.
Just want to mention that I have another letter of interest that I actually received yesterday, right around the time that the commission was presenting, of Mr. Roger Diaz. Yeah,
Okay.
and so that's gonna be taken into consideration for the upcoming meeting. Most likely approved, that would leave the commission with a full
Mhm.
team. And that's all I have for
So you're talking about
today.
full team, that's something else. Is that, why did you bring that up on here? Like, that seems good. Like, where did I bring that up?
For the full commission.
Yeah.
Kind of this the little idea that council will actually bring this to item to discussion and possible in the next meeting. So they may actually make a motion to go back to 9 members. Okay, I don't know what's the deal there, but so right now as far as I know, we are 7. And if this person is accepted, then that's it.
I think 7 is a good number.
Yeah,
mean,
I agree with you too.
number,
Mm-hmm.
Sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my rebuttal on that. I was told that the consideration could be given to 2 non-residents if we keep it at 9, versus if it's 7, then they're more hesitant to keep the non-residents in there. They just want some return residents. If it's 7, that's the difference. So that's a huge difference, because again, we go back to what is the agenda?
Yeah, I mean, the bylaw should always be amended again if brought forward to council.
Mm-hmm. But at this moment, I don't want to get out of the agenda because we're not supposed to be discussing.
Where do I bring it up on new items?
The council will be meeting actually before us. Okay, and let's see what actions first. If we want to, one of the things that we can do, obviously, we need to be present on that council meeting.
Well, the mayor said at yesterday's meeting that we commissioners need to meet with city manager about that topic. So that's why I'm asking.
I see.
FYI, the deadline for that is tomorrow to add any items for the upcoming agenda. I plan on adding the one for Mr. Diaz for review tomorrow.
Okay, so Kim, you were there at the meeting yesterday.
Yes.
When you heard Mayor say that we as commissioners need to meet. He told Jerry, you need to meet with the commissioners about this.
He did direct the commission to meet with our city manager.
Correct.
To review the possibility of adding that item to the agenda for discussion.
So when does that happen?
That would have to happen tomorrow. I mean, because the deadline's tomorrow. If we want to get it, if the commission wants to have it reviewed for the next meeting, or if not, it would be postponed for the next meeting in August. No, the second meeting of August.
It's actually at this point, so we're still in the summary of current events. Okay, so there is a council meeting coming up in which an item will be placed in matters of the Parks and Recs Commission. So we're not so far off the consent agenda. That's my only words right now, because we're discussing something that is not in the agenda.
Correct.
That's the problem.
We cannot discuss the item since it's not here, but I think to answer Commissioner Israel's question, you can add it under the future agenda items, but we can't have a discussion on it, and at least an official discussion. Now, if after the meeting, you guys want to have a sidebar conversation, you can, but I think as unfortunately, because it's not an agenda item, we can't engage in discussion.
But if you were sharing about current events, which is one of them happened to be the commissioner applicant. Recent.
No, yeah.
And another current event was what happened yesterday at the city council meeting. That's why I brought it up as a current event.
Yes, and
related to the commissioners.
and that is fine as long as we don't engage in
Yeah,
discussion
discussion.
to
That's the
identify
problem.
any actions. So.
Because since it's been, it is actually, it's not an item for us to actually take action. Okay. We don't have it here. I wasn't expecting the deadline actually to be so fast, like to be tomorrow. Okay. That's one thing that we were not informed at all. So that's why I don't want to continue with a discussion of an item that is not there in the agenda. We, as Mr. Cervantes advises, we can do a kind of aside once we're done with the meeting, whatever, to see if we can actually have a meeting with our city manager tomorrow in matters of this, but not to be discussed tonight here in the agenda. Okay. So to be okay, everyone. Okay. I'm sorry for the interruption, Mr. Mesa.
No, that's all I have. I mean,
anything, any more for this cover? So I'm glad actually that Roger Diaz is submitting this letter, and I don't know him.
I know him.
You know him?
That's our recommendation.
Okay, yeah. So that will give us a seven numbers, a great number anyway. So more.
no, that's all I have.
That's it. Only one. Okay. So I'm gonna start from my right side. Which one is my right side? This side. Ms. Eswin?
So we're adding that topic of discussion.
That will be item number 11, future item agenda. If you want to put on the agenda. No, not yet. Something that you saw, for example, in the park, or this is the time for you to say, you know what,
Yes.
the Perritos Park needs to be cleaner, or there is a party coming up. Remember when I invite you to the 8535? That's a summer arrangements.
I remember because I had a community member share with me two concerns this week about one of the lights, and he wrote it down for me, the street light that's been out for a long time. And he's already submitted his like online how you can submit, but he didn't get a response. And so I told him I would follow up with in our commission today. Maybe he's not the only one that's been submitting, concerns, and they're not getting responses. And so they're getting like annoyed. Your community members are getting annoyed, like what's going on, because they're safety lights, where they live. And so they've been out forever. They haven't got a response. And so, so I told him, I'll bring it up and see if, if that's a trend or something that can be addressed.
When I had a problem, this current bedside, I had the same problem with my light, because I actually live in the corner, there's a light. So I was told to contact APS. There is a number on the pole. Okay. And when I actually called APS and said, this is the pole number, this is the street, they came and they fixed it. That's the way it was. I don't know how the city
Is that how the city's
handle it, or when there is
I mean, the community, the residents can always call in. If it's related to lighting, it's most likely can be related to public works. But if it's inside a park, then it would be something that we would address. And it depends on the actual location and the actual unit. It might be APS. But I mean, the residents are not getting a response. I would recommend them contacting us directly or coming into our office, and we could address it.
I will relate that. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Is there anything else, Miss Ezra? No, that's it. Okay.
Well, on to the next one. Sorry.
Okay. Miss Sonia Moreno Urquiza. Anything else for current events?
Nothing else.
Not even that you went to Cancun?
Not even.
Not even, okay. Okay. Baisha?
I have no future agenda items because usually my items have to do with the path lights, but they've been taken care of. They've been up and running for a good time now. but it was an electrical issue that needed to be contracted out. But no, I have no future agenda. Well,
Current events.
I think current.
Yeah.
I thought we were on.
We're still on item number. Yeah, still item number summary current events.
Oh, okay. I thought we were on number 11.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, but no, I have
Nothing. Okay.
no current event items.
Okay, perfect. And also, no, nothing. At this moment, I attended both of the last two city councils, and I'm glad that they are actually supporting us with the wine and art festival, and to knowing they have the support is very important. So it will be a great event, I believe. Okay. Item number 10, addendum. I don't think we have any addendums at this moment, but future items. Item number 11, Mr. Mesa. Would you like to add anything for the agenda for
The
next month?
follow-up discussion on the recreational program.
Oh, recreational program. Okay. Okay. Vice Chair, anything that you'd like to see for future agenda items?
Yes, I actually have two items going through my notes here. So one will be to provide an update on the legal opinion, 4 minutes.
Okay.
To see what we'll do moving forward. And I guess my ultimate goal was at this point to just process a minute request as requested by city clerk's office until we get a true statement back to see if recorded sessions are a viable option. But that'll be one of the discussion items. Just as a follow-up, I believe by then we should have something from legal. The second item is actually a new item. It'll be to discuss the creation of our SOP, our standard operating procedures manual that'll lay out everything that a commission member should know coming on board, and can be referenced later on, just in case later on I do leave the organization or get hit by a bus or something else horrible happens. There is a manual that can be referenced and updated, of course, as need be. And I envision it being a binder that if everybody wants a copy, everyone can get, or we keep one centralized copy, and that's where we'll house our SOPs, our procedures, our information, just like the donation amounts. So we don't have to keep asking Mr. Mesa every time, like, hey, what's the amount for a team or what's the amount for a single person? Our bylaws, which should be updated soon, possibly. And then just items like that have to do with the commission directly. And also have like procedures, like how to approach the city for a liquor license for our events, or just to kind of have it be a full-blown how-to manual, so anybody could jump into that role and be like, hey, you are now the new chairman, read this over. It should help you kind of guide meetings. Or if we had a question from one of the other commission members, they could be like, hey, I'm interested in how do I submit a event request to the city? It'll be outlined in that manual. So I want to start having that discussion to create our SOPs and commission manual, you could say. Aside from that, I have no other items.
That'll be interesting. Manual. 320 pages long. But it can be done. Am I right, Mr. Jesus? Okay.
And it's dual purpose too. You know, if city admin has a question or council, it can always be referenced as well. And the hope would be that we also provide a copy to the city so that they are aware of what transpires and there's no misunderstandings.
Yeah.
For example, myself, I really know basically nothing here. I'm not knowledgeable about procedures and all that. So Yeah, that absolutely makes sense to have something like that. Standard operation procedures. The way it's following protocol and, doing it right.
And I do have one last item, Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Go ahead.
Is possibly identifying a better method of communicating. I know we do it through text, but I can tell you right now, I'm part of like probably 6 different text strings. So I'm not sure which one to reply to half the time. So I don't know if that's a item to possibly be discussed and to identify a better communication item. Just from personal experience. Like I said, I think we still may have some rogue text groups that sometimes get answered to, and they may have people that should not be in that conversation. But aside from those 3 items, no, I have no other items to be talked about.
Okay, we're in future items for the agenda. Ms. Ezra?
So I want to propose the one from the making sure we have the proposal of the 9 commissioners with everything staying the same, our policy remaining the same of the 9 commissioners, and up to 2 can be non-residents. I want to propose that. And that including the speaking with city manager, as mayor indicated last night in our meeting at the city council meeting.
So you're okay. We like to see in the agenda going back to 9 members.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And we would like to do an update on our after we met for the little workstation. So to be placed on the agenda,
sure.
The wine and
yes, I will definitely give an update on the Wine and Arts Festival work session that we'll be holding next week, Wednesday, in our next commissioners meeting, of course.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Wine, art, and what is it called? Wine and Art Festival. I like the title.
Just a question: is there do we have like a limit of items per agenda that the commission wants to target, like a limit or per agenda? Is there anything?
At this point, I think I don't like to limit unless I hear my colleagues complaining that we're getting too late out of the meeting.
They're actually visitors, actually people at my house, and that's told to be there at 8 o'clock.
More likely.
And it's already like way.
Yeah, it's gonna be 9. So probably we can discuss that on the next item. So I would like to add that. But I don't like to limit my own colleagues because I mean everyone has something to share and say it, and that's I will say that it is what it is. It's part of serving the community. Sometimes that we go extra time. Sometimes half an hour will not be enough time to just I'm here, I'm gone. We can discuss that later. Well, okay. Anything else? You have membership and a little update. And Ms. Moreno?
I have no items.
No items. I wasn't planning to have no items at this point. So anything else?
Do we add the agenda items limited?
To have the agenda items limited per member, so it's gonna be
per agenda. That was my only question.
Does the
not too much time there? The more agenda items,
the longer the meeting. I understand that, but we don't go this long. It's just that we get excited with the Wine and Art Festival and the baseball. It's the most of the time. So that's why at this point, I don't feel comfortable putting this item on for discussion.
Okay.
Now, if you guys want to put it to limit ourselves and how many items we can put in the future agenda, then this is the time. Okay, so no, at this point, let's move on like this.
No, it doesn't matter to me. I was just going to say, if we do identify an item like that, we'll have to update our bylaws. But regardless, they are going to be updated pending the discussion item regarding membership. It does need to be updated regardless. So with that being said, once we reach that point, then, I mean, if we do request it, we'll have to update it. Hopefully during the update phase, we can determine that, because one other item is that we should have everything already turned in. My recommendation would be the Friday before a meeting, just so agenda can be submitted to the city clerk for posting. Because right now we've been doing it like 24 hours prior. I don't want to. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we should have everything identified 2 to 3 days prior to the meeting, so that we're not scrambling, going back and forth, trying to identify agenda items. But that's a discussion to be held next year under the SOP and communication plan.
And that should actually put, if you really, the way that I see it, Mr. Mesa, is also to help us and help you. If you already know our wish, for the next meeting, what's on the agenda, that should expedite, make things easier for you. Just, this is what, and you add your token to it, and it shouldn't be a major issue now. You just follow to it, unless the city council would like to add specifically an item. Then you have to deal with them. You know what? Do it faster so I can put in I don't know. But it makes things easier, I believe, that now you have an idea what we want. Okay, as a commission, we would like to see, to hear you saying more about the recreation program, and Jesus, those updates. We want to hear the legal opinion on our minutes, because, you've been actually telling us that in order to be in compliance, so we need to be there. And I believe that that should make your job easier, putting the next meeting together instead of being on a Monday, having on a Friday. Okay. So there is no more items for future agenda. And let's move on to item number 12. Right now it is 8:56. I think this is the latest that we have been together. And I would like to adjourn this meeting. Okay, it is 8:56. Meeting adjourned. Okay.